Guys, how is everyone doing? The red light is on. Lydia Warren, now officially 1-0 professional fighter. What's up, Lydia? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Just another day, was it Wednesday, Thursday, whenever we'll drop this during the week, but just chilling. Man, all right, let's kind of get into it. Before there's so much I want to get into with you about the fight and just iKON and traveling and the pictures and the music and everything, but just like, how does it feel? You were such this kind of like a hot prospect, never had that, all the amateur, and we've been talking for a minute. Feels like we've been talking now for 6-8 months. Couple professional fights fall through. You finally have your first pro fight. How did it feel? Like, did it feel almost like, is this it? Or like, did it feel like, oh, wow, like I felt the stage of being a professional and now you having a win? How did just becoming a pro mixed martial artist?
No, I had a blast. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, that was different. And I was telling my coach afterwards, I was like, that was my first fight where, like, I was very present and, like,
Okay.
calm. I've always been pretty calm during my fights, but I've always also been, like, very, like, and then, like, in the middle, and then it'll end. I'm like, oh, thank God that's over. But, like, this one, I had a fucking blast. Like, I was, like, I was laughing and I like having a good time, but it was almost like, like it's a big show and like all the cameras and all the things and whatever, and this is like a big deal and it's on UFC Fight Pass and blah blah blah. But like I really feel like I filled the role that I needed.
Yeah.
It was almost like it was more so, you know what I'm saying? Like with all that pressure and shit, I was like, oh yeah, like this is it. You know what I mean? And I had a great time. She hated.
Talking about that, like,
Okay.
It was noticeable. So it was like the first, I couldn't believe I wasn't there. We kind of talked off there about it, and it is what it is. First time with me and those boys, like Dean and I and all those guys, with me not being at a show live. So it's watching on Fight Pass, right? But like multiple times you in the cage, and we'll get to you before getting into the cage, but you in the cage multiple times, like you had like a laugh, a giggle, a smirk. And this is like, I don't have to tell you, like, with training, there's like bad shit happens in that cage, and you were just having fun. Like you were just like, it was like different. Watching you was different. Did you, like, when you saying you were just having that much fun, did you feel it? Like you were having that much fun, or you just never felt like so confident?
When I started laughing, I think it was towards the end of the second. So like the first round, obviously, like I just completely dominated her, took her down in the first like 10 seconds, and then like stayed on top for the rest of the round.
Right.
Did a lot of damage. The second round I came out, we hadn't really like struck yet together. So like most of that round, I feel like I was just like watching her patterns, like watching what she does. Like I'd hit a few things, but like for the most part, I was watching that round. It was almost like it was like the first round again. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then towards the sorry, I got a call. Towards the second is when I started laughing and shit, because like once I did pick up on the patterns, then I knew she couldn't hit me, and that's so fucked up. But like it was just like I was just like, I got your number. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
you felt so confident.
I was just mad confident, and then I saw her every time we go to the corners and stuff, and I don't sit down in the corners, so I just stand, and I could see her, and she had her back towards me, and she was just dry heaving, and like somebody told me later she was dry heaving too, and I was like, yeah, like I was just having a blast. I was like, I'm breaking you, you know what I mean? Which is, it's fighting, who cares, you know what I
Do
mean?
you remember, because like this is, like I said, I'm watching it just on UFC.
All of it. I remember
like
the entire.
You remember saying no stool?
Oh yeah, I just told him, I was like, no, I'm good. I was like, dude, I had to force you to drink water. Like I was chilling, dude. Like I had like cardio for days, bro. But I trained hard. You know what I mean? I trained hard. I do rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds. And so, like I was like, bro, I'm cool. Like I was so cool. Like he literally was like, drink water. I was like, no, I'm good. He's like, no, drink water, bitch. Like you know what I mean? But I mean, for the most part, yeah. And then the third round, they told me, I remember Gibson told me after my second round, he was like, hey, like, I still got you winning, but he's like, we are in her hometown. Like, you got to be a little bit careful. You chilled too much in the second round. He's like, so let's do something in the third. And that's when I took her down again, and then I dropped her, which
right.
The ref like stood me up. That
was very quick, like super quick.
Was like worst stand-up I've ever seen in my life. It turned out fine because I dropped it right after in the end of the highlights. But like that was a fucking horrible stand-up. I like watched it later. I was like, bro, I'm still punching her. Like,
yeah.
But I don't know, bro. That is what it is. It turned out good, but that's when I started turning up the third. But yeah, I would say probably the best thing about this fight was, I mean, that's the 15 minutes. That's like, it's a lot of experience.
Yes, for
But,
sure.
I can do that. I know I can feel good after the fact. You know what I mean? And yeah, dude, I was just so calm, like just very collected. But I mean, I do this shit every day.
Right.
Like, I'm used to this. But it was nice to go under the lights and know that I can also do that.
Right, right. So there's more there, but like you said something in the first round, but you taking her down literally 10, 15 seconds into it.
Yeah.
And so everything I've seen of Lydia Warren for 9 months, all these amazing videos, you just see your striking ability.
I told y'all motherfuckers I could wrestle. I told y'all motherfuckers I could wrestle, and nobody believed me. I said, that's fine. That's fine. And then it happened, and I was like, I told y'all, bro, I could wrestle.
And like it was like so not surprising, but it was like, oh my goodness, like I know how good she is on the feet, and now you're doing this for the first 5 minutes. I'm like, there's no holes here. Like there's
holes, but only I know.
All right. So now, all right, so let's get to the cage part. And like I said, I know a lot of the guys there working the stuff, and then they're like, dude, do you see like Lydia Warren like walk out her song like you're at the cage?
Pop Smoke, Black Air Force energy. I told you.
You had like the most swagger, like the best positive attitude ever. Like, did you
asked? You should see in the back. They beforehand, it was so weird. It was like a fucking the back was like a freaking dungeon, and it was like just this dark room, and it was just all cement, and I'm just like hitting mitts and just like slapping the mitts and just like hard. And I like Gibson and my friend Jesse, who was in my corner, they were like at one point like watching me. They're like, what the fuck? Because I was literally just pacing and like talking to myself like crazy. Like I flipped a switch and I was like, I felt like I was in the dungeon. You know what I'm saying? Like warming up and shit. And I was just crazy. I was just a psychopath at that point on, but it is what it is. Yeah. And then I walked out. She walked out first. And then I got up on the stage behind the thing, and my song started playing, and I saw people in the crowd like getting hyped, and I started shadowboxing mad hard. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. And then at that point, I was like, bro. But I already knew. I was like, dude, no, this is my fight. Like, you ain't got shit. You know what I mean? But I've been working a long time for it, Yeah,
no, that's what I mean. Like, it's been a long process to finally get that 1-0. Just real quick, last little thing about like the walkout and the song and all that stuff. Is that like something you want to keep going? Like you want to bring a little bit like Israel Adesanya, like he literally brings a show to the octagon.
All my walkouts have always been like that. But ain't known it because you know what I mean? Yeah. But my walkouts always lit. Like I always try to pick something like super lit, super like hard. That was the first time I like usually I'm like even more like whatever, but this one I was just like I'm gonna get 25 to life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So Jorge Masvidal's iKON FC, UFC Fight Pass. Bo Nickel literally was like he just, he brought so much pub to the show and like to the whole night.
Bo carried.
Right. So just talk about that. Talk about like being on that card. It's kind of like a little bit of. I'm hearing. It's one of the most watched UFC Fight Pass shows like ever. Like the show is incredible.
Masvidal said that it was the second highest ratings of UFC Fight Pass history or some shit.
It's insane.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. But yeah, no, dude, like honestly, I just felt like I really just like thrived under that pressure. I was like, fuck yeah, this is time. Like I was built for this stage. You know what I mean? Even before, like the doctor told me when we were doing our little checkups, he was like, dude, he's like, you're the calmest person I've seen here all day.
Wow.
Because I was chilling, bro. I'd be like in the back just chilling until it's time. So I don't know, like I feel like it was just really like the pressure I needed,
Yeah.
And
Did you
Bo
have any
Bo was super chill too. But then I just sat back and I was watching, like, there's like a bunch of amateurs and stuff on the card too, and you could just see them all like shaking in their boots and shit. And then like I was chilling, Bo was chilling. There was a couple others in the back that were just chill, and you could tell. And I think they all won. All the people that were just, you know,
right.
all won. But that's just how you got to be. You know what I mean? It's just like that calm before the storm. But you're prepared. You know you're prepared.
Right. So, okay, 1-0. How quickly you said, body's good. I know you went 15 minutes and you had that's great experience. Like you said, it's awesome. Of course, everyone wants a 6-second knockout like Masvidal over Askren, but to get 15 minutes as a pro underneath that light.
I'm happy with that. I kind of wanted to go the whole time.
Right.
Because that's always been like a thing, like kind of like, because my last one was like a first round knockout. I only went to decision one time when I was an amateur, and that was like forever ago. So like it's kind of like scary to be like, dude, can I go for the 15 minutes? Is this
right.
Like it's kind of like nerve wracking when you haven't yet. And then like, but for me to do it right out the bat, do 15 minutes, feel great afterwards. Like I could have gone 2-3 more rounds.
That's awesome.
Easily.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Could have gone 2-3 more rounds. Like I felt great. So honestly, I'm glad I did that more than anything. Like even if I had like a quick knockout, it would have been like, then the next time I would have been like, can I do this? Can I do, you know what I mean?
Right. Like you answered so much in that one fight. The 15 minutes, the wrestling, just even the knockout power like you showed her in the third round.
Case everything, which is kind of what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like not everybody knows I can wrestle. Not everybody knows I can do these things. Like they know I can strike because they see my mid videos, but like that's about it.
Yeah.
So like it was nice to be able to showcase everything and be like, hey guys, like I'm for real an MMA fighter. You know what I mean? Like I'm excited. I can do this shit. Like, I have answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing before, like, and we asked questions on Instagram. iKON even shared it, so we got a lot of really good ones, some crazy ones, of course. One thing though, before I saw your socials, I saw the gym socials. It was because it was the week before you fought. Was kind of the whole Holly Holm versus Vieira fight in the main event, and the decision that did not go Holly's way. That kind of like the mass media was like, wow. And then of course you guys very well. And I know you and Holly and all that. So like, it's been 2 weeks now, 3 weeks. What's kind of your feeling on that and the gym's feeling on that decision?
Dude, I still feel the same way. I mean, shit, she definitely won that fight, but like, what are you going to do about it? It's over, you know? Like, and even Holly said that afterwards. She's like, I feel like I won the fight, but like, it is what it is, I guess. You like hindsight 2020, you can't go back in time and shit. And I feel like even the judges like know that, you know what I mean? But what are you gonna do? I feel like they should still say fuck it and give Holly the next title shot. But we'll see what they do. I don't know if they're gonna want to rematch that fight. I don't know what
that's what I said. And like Lydia, I'm like, I never do that. Like anytime someone wins or loses, usually someone has to kind of go up to the next one, loses. But like
crazy.
Right.
That was
like, and then almost too, like Amanda and Juliana fights like 2 months from now or a month from now, and then they're not going to want to fight to the end of the year. So like there's a long gap. I feel like Holm and Vieira should just do it again in like October, September.
Yeah, I mean, that's an option for sure. Even that bitch was confused when she won. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Her corner in round 5 was like, she's down.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Right.
And then, but I feel like if they do that, it'd be good. And then Holly will probably just fucking turn it up next time for sure. Because I'm not going to the judges. Fuck you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was stupid, dude. That sucks. Because these are like, that's her pay. That's her fucking record. And when you're up at that level, you know what I mean? That's a whole fucking title shot that you fucked up.
Right.
Like now because you fucked up. Now I got to go do this. You know what I mean? Like, it's convenient.
Dude, you nailed something there that not a lot of people understand. At that level, especially Holly's level, and no one wants to talk about her business and stuff, but like if she's making 250 to show and 250,000 to win, something like that, maybe 50, whatever, it's like
money to take out of my pocket because you guys fucked up.
Right. Crazy. All right. Let's get into some of these questions. Well, I'll pass on some of them like always, but some of them are good and whatever. The first one goes, are you ticklish?
Bro, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for sure.
One was, and this is a good one. I kind of like mentioned it earlier. Like they're like, "What's next? When do you want to fight next?"
I think iKON kind of wants to keep me around. So they told me there's one in August and one in September. So
August 5th in Georgia, Savannah,
yeah,
Georgia.
that's what. So either that one or the one in September, or both. Shit,
Woo.
we go 3-0 by the end of the year. That'd be lit.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Okay. They say, where would you want to move to?
if I like moved,
Yeah, if you move residence, I guess.
like out of the state, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Like my dream place. I feel like I'd say Cali, but I've also never been to Cali in my whole life. So I feel like that's why I say that.
Yeah, yeah. You go there for a long weekend, you're like, nah.
Cali just seems so lit, but like I've also never been, so I don't know.
Got you,
Also,
got
I'm
you.
trying it out because I haven't had that. And I feel like that's critical.
Okay. Your favorite book right now?
Dude, honestly, I haven't read in a minute. It's embarrassing to say. The last book I read was fucking Muhammad Ali's like biography. That one
We
was
talked about that a couple of shows ago. Yeah.
yeah, that one was
You were
lit.
loving that.
But yeah, I think that's the last one I read.
This is one kind of that we talked about earlier. They're saying, how long before the show did you pick out your walkout song?
Honestly, bro, like weeks, like maybe like 4 or 5 weeks before. Like
Wow.
that song carried me like through camp, and I just like knew. Like I always just like find one, and I was just like, I'll just know this is gonna be the one. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it just like kept coming on. Like it would come on like on a really hard sparring day, and I'd be like, it even came on today during wrestling. I was doing wrestling and it came out. I'm like, dude, this is my song. Like right now, this is my jam right now. But yeah, I usually pick it out like at least like 3 weeks before. Usually it'll be like whatever song I'm like vibing to through camp.
Got you. I got to do it like we usually like a lot of stuff off air. I never bring usually on air, but I'm going to bring this up. So we had a certain time that we were going to do this podcast, and then I had some stuff just come up early. So I was like, hey, do you want to go early? And you were like, hey, I just got out of wrestling practice, and I send you professional wrestling, like WWE gifts. You're like, yeah, that's it, Dave. That's it.
Yeah, just like that, bro. That's
Yeah.
type of
I love that. Like people tell me that all the time. Like I'll talk to people at American Top Team where they're like famous for that, like Mako Monday. It's like Kayla Harrison wrestling. It's the best in the world. And they'll say that. And like I'll send them like Stone Cold Steve Austin or like The Rock. They're like, yes, Dave, you nailed it. That's it. That's it.
For sure, bro.
Next one is, what age did you start training to become a professional fighter?
I was kind of old, to be honest. I started at 19 and then like moved here at like 20. So like almost 20 years old, pretty much.
Okay. What was the different about the experience of your first pro fight than you expected? Or did it go like you expected?
It was better than I expected, to be honest.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be a lot harder. I thought it was going to be like, I don't know. I thought I was going to be more scared. I thought like there was going to be a bunch more like things that I'd have to deal with. But bro, it was honestly just like, it was like a promise being fulfilled to me. That's what it felt like. You know what I mean? Like I knew in the back, I knew like leading up to it, I was like, this is like what this is meant for me. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like a delivery of a promise, pretty much. That's what it felt like. That's why I had so much fun. You know what I mean? It was like, I already know, like, this is
like, was your team almost saying like, that's incredible? Like it just, I can't even explain it. So like, I've been live on so many fights. I commentate so many fights. I watch so many fights. Like you just had like this different great energy. Like you just had like this, the momentum, like I said earlier in the show, like the swag, like you just had like this positive momentum. Like you knew you couldn't lose that fight. Like just watching, you were like in so control of it.
I couldn't. I knew I couldn't. I decided weeks before. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lose this fight. Like I knew I couldn't. I wasn't in any danger ever once, and I never felt like I was in danger. Like I was just like, I've done this shit. I'm built for this shit. Like that's what it felt like too. It was nice, like doing the walkout, all that shit, and like everybody had positive things to say. They were like, I think one of the commentators was like talking about, they're like, this is the type of like composure you don't see until somebody like way later in their career type.
Right.
But that's like, I feel like that's a gift that I'm blessed with. You know what I mean? I'm very like a very high fight IQ. I know like when to move, when not to move. Like I try not to make a lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But like that's comes from training, that comes from trusting. I feel like mentally just trusting yourself more than anything. Like I just trust myself so fucking much.
Love
Like
it.
in my skills and everything. I just know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I got one more, and then I was going to roll with it, but this one, we can't end on this one because this is kind of a funky one. I don't know. They go, how long are your eyelashes? They look amazing, and they complement your beautiful eyes.
I don't know how long they are, but that's funny because before the fight or whatever, I was in the back. I was in the dressing room, and one of the commission guys, Wayne, that was my boy. He was watching after us and shit, and he was like, "You got fake eyelashes on?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro." And he's like, "You gonna take them off?" I was like, "They don't come off." And he's like, "Oh shit, you're not worried about it?" And I was like, "Let me tell you something, Wayne." I was like, I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't get hit very often. And like I thought about, I'm like, bro, what if I get fucking hit during the fight? That shit. But then I was like, nah, and I ended up not. So I came back and I was like, Wayne, I told you.
That's awesome. That's good.
That's good. Like fucking 4 times, nobody.
Yeah. Last one, you mentioned it, like you mentioned the commentators a little bit, and then like me, I was with Pearl literally 5 days before the show, and we talked about iKON. You came up, and I know you did I would assume you did the pre-fight interviews with Pearl, and to me, Pearl and you have like a lot of the similarities, a lot of really good confidence, a great aura around you, good energy. Did you and Pearl connect? Did you guys have a good time talking? How did you guys go?
We talked beforehand, and then obviously she did my after fight interview. But then like back at the hotel and shit, we hung out and talked and shit. She's super cool, so I fuck with her.
Cool. Yeah, she's a good one. She's a real one.
Yeah, she's
awesome. That's it. I got nothing else. Anything else? You got any kind of sponsors? Any kind of shout outs? I see on your Instagram stories. I'm seeing a lot of flowers on your Instagram stories. You got to shout out anyone and say hey?
Fuck no. Send me more flowers, bro.
All right, we got to send your fans. Got to send you flowers. We'll send it to the Jackson Wink Gym. We don't want to be sending any real addresses out there.
Send it my way.
Awesome, Lydia, you're the best. Congratulations. I wish I was there. I'll be at the next one, and can't wait. That picture was iconic. That was that your pose afterwards, the black and white picture, like that was it. Like that's a pick.
Add good pictures I need to post them. So
yeah.
Look out for them.
There we go. IG, follow Lydia Warren on Instagram. We'll talk to you soon.
Lydia P. Warren.
On the IG?
Yeah.
All right. Later, Lyd. Thanks.